Today I'm going to be talking about 3 different wines. I have a red wine, a white wine, and a sparkling white wine. So this one is a Trapiche Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. It is a 2019 vintage, and they were established in 1883. The winery that this wine comes from is Bodegas Trapiche, and the alcohol content is 13.5%, and this is a 750 milliliter bottle. And you would drink this red wine around 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, which is slightly higher than room temperature. And this wine was grown in is Mundeza, and the grape type is Malbec. So we will cut off the foil. Like that. And then we'll get our wine cork. And then when you're serving it to your guests, you'll always have the label facing towards them. And then you will have your glasses already set out on the table, and you will present it to your guest or the host, whoever orders the wine. And you will tell them the name, so Trapiche, and then the country, Argentina, and it's a vintage 2019. And then you will try to keep the label towards the host at all time. So you'll pour up about an ounce to get them to taste. And once they taste it, they give you the go-ahead. You can go ahead and fill the guest glasses. Usually you start with the woman, and then you end at the host. So when tasting the wine, we swirl it so it lets out all of its natural flavors. And then you have a sniff, and then you'll give it a sip more than what you would have when you're just drinking it casually. You just let it sit in your mouth for a minute. So it's pretty dry. I'm not really a red wine drinker. I like more of the sweet ones. But it's thick, and it definitely coated the inside of my mouth. And on the back of the bottle, it says that the aromas are blackberry, cedar, and spices. I can definitely see the blackberries and cedar. With elegant velvety tannins and a long aftertaste with notes of tobacco and smoke. And it's enjoyed with strong cheeses and seasoned red meats and game. So probably have that with a steak or something. So this is a white wine, and it is a Riesling. So it's a Zen window Riesling. The winery is Mosel Valley. The region is Qualitzwen Mosel/Saar. The grape type is Riesling. The country it's made in is Germany, and the vintage year is 2018. The alcohol content is 10.5%, and this is a 750 milliliter bottle. You would drink this wine at a 7 to 12 degrees Celsius, which is slightly warmer than the fridge temperature. So when you are presenting to your host, you tell them it's a Riesling, and the vintage is 2018, and it's a Zen window Riesling. So you'd screw off the top, keep the label towards your guest, pour up about an ounce for them to taste, and when you get their approval, You then fill the wine for the women first, and then you end at the host. So when we are tasting the Riesling, we'll swish it around in the glass. That will let off all the nice aromas. Give it a smell, and then you take a larger sip than you would if you were just casually drinking, and you'll swish it around your mouth, let it sit there for a minute, and then swallow it. So the sweetness of this one is probably around a medium, and it's like fruity flavors. I would say the flavors for this one are more of like a stone fruit. It's not really like strawberry or anything like that. And the sweetness is a bit more bearable for someone like me, so I'd probably choose something like this if I was at a restaurant. So this is my sparkling wine, and it is called Spumante Bambino. The winery it comes from is Arteria Wines, which is in Canada. The alcohol content is 7%, and this is a 750 milliliter bottle. You would drink this at around 3 to 7 degrees Celsius, so ice cold. And this wine was established in 1934. So when serving to your guest, you will show them, have the label facing towards them, tell them it's Spumante Bambino, and it is from the Arteria Wines in Canada. So then you will grab the bottom of the foil, rip it off, and you will untwist the cage. So then we'll leave the cage on and slowly turn and pull up. So when you pop that off, you'll lay it to the side. Pour up about an ounce for your host to try. Get them to test it. And when they approve, you will start with the women at the table and then end with the host. So when we're going to be tasting the wine, we'll swirl it around the glass, have a smell, and then take a larger size mouthful, more than you would have just casually drinking. Swish it around your mouth and let it sit for a few seconds and then swallow it. This wine is very light and fruity, and I actually really enjoy this one. I like this more than the last two, so I'd probably drink this.